questions.
Okay. Slow start, some lessons learned. We came out flat. I felt like we were flat in shoot around today, and even told the staff, before the game that, thought we were flat. Tried to kind of subtly warn those guys that I thought they were flat, and we came out and we were flat. And give Mississippi Valley a lot of credit. They brought it right at us. They were aggressive. They played well, and lesson learned. If you're not ready to play at this level, you have to respect every opponent, and if you're not ready to play, you're going to look bad in some cases. And I thought we really were poor at the beginning of the game, and we came on, and give them credit at halftime. Really, the last 5 or 6 minutes of the first half, I thought we started to guard and rebound, and that carried over through the second half. And I thought we played extremely well in the second half, both offensively and defensively.
Questions?
It's 2 games in a row, Coach. Kind of second half, we really played a lot better.
Yeah. Again, we got a lot of guys that are learning a lot of lessons, and hopefully we're, the other night I thought we competed in the first half. We actually played statistically pretty well, but so did they. And then the second half we guarded a lot better. But tonight, a whole different deal. We were not ready to roll, not sharp. But we turned it around. The second half was very, very impressive. And I told them in one of the timeout huddles that I was really impressed with how they were playing. I thought, everybody out there was trying to make a play for their teammate, and the ball was popping, the ball was moving, and guys were getting open shots, creating open shots for each other. Kobe made the 3 to start the half and kind of loosened us up some there, and then the rim got a little bigger, and the ball started going in. D'Angelo had another good second half. Deron Henson chipped in, and everybody kind of loosened up and made plays for each other, and I thought they were extremely good that way.
Coach, do you have a player or two that when you get in a situation like that where you're not playing up to your potential and things are just slow, do you have a player or two that just kind of steps up and where all the responsibility doesn't fall on you to get after the guys?
So far this year, it's really kind of been collectively. I mean, they understand, obviously, first couple of timeouts came over, and they knew better than anybody that the mental state of mind they were in, and that their performance wasn't up to par. And they kind of collectively do it together so far. I've really been impressed with that, because it's not one guy every night. It might be Alex, it might be Kobe, it might be Sam. D'Angelo's getting more confident in that regard. Abel Porter will chip in and does a great job leading that way vocally. So it's a group that collectively so far has kind of taken that leadership role.
So Kobe had a lot to do with that start there at the second half. What's his status?
He's got an ankle injury, and I don't know the extent of it, to be honest with you. We've got to get it x-rayed. Obviously, Brandon cleared him to go back into the game once, and so at that point probably wasn't too severe, or he wouldn't have done that. And then in one of the little scrums on the floor, he tweaked it again, and at that point he was done. So he's not 100% right now, for sure. I know that, but I don't know the extent.
Gotcha.
Anything else?
Coach, just on the upcoming road trip, you guys have got a couple games here at home in a row, and you've got a lot of time on the road now. What's going to be the key as a staff and as players? What's key to a long road trip like this in your experience?
Yeah, none of us have ever experienced a road trip like this, and I'm not sure how many people in college basketball have experienced this kind of road trip, and it kind of came together through a lot of elements. It wasn't planned this way, but a lot of things happened, and it just kind of turned out this way. But I have a lot of concern over what I'm doing to them as players, and we've got to kind of find a happy medium. Practices are going to be scarce and short because of when the games come, but we need the road adversity. We had a lot of road games last year where they were winnable. They could have gone either way, and we didn't do a good job of handling those situations. So that part is good. I'm glad we have some road games, but 12 days is a long time to be on the road, and we've got to stay together. We've got to improve in the games. We've got to use the games as improvement. We've got to go game to game and feel like we're getting better. We're getting better, because I really think the last 2 games we are getting better, but that's got to continue on the road. We can't backslide, and we've got a lot of different kind of opponents to play. Some neutral site games, some true road games, some very tough opponents. So there's a lot mixed in there, but all in all, their mental state, we have to do a good job as a staff to keep them in the right place mentally. And if we do, I hope it turns out to be a positive. But it's something I worry about a lot, to be honest with you. And I hope we can come through it and look at it and say we're a better team, because BYU hits us square in the face when we get back. So we need to improve.
What elements make playing on the road so difficult? Is it just being in an unfamiliar place, or is it not having the crowd behind you?
Yeah, I think it's just all the unfamiliarity, all the moving around. Travel is tiring no matter what you do. When you have new guys that haven't, they're getting used to the home routine, and now all that gets thrown out the window, and you're just different practice times, different shoot around times, adjusting to different balls, different gyms. But in the end, it's basketball, and you got to be mentally in the state where your preparation has to be the same. Even though it's different, it's got to be the same. And when the ball gets thrown in the air, you got to be mentally ready to play and physically ready to play. You can't get worn down by all the moving around that we're going to have to do. And it'll be a learning experience. The guys that have been through it before will have to be great leaders. And like I said, us as coaches, we've got to balance not practicing too much, but continue to get better and do the prep that we need to give ourselves a chance.
Coach, you mentioned BYU being your next game. It's going to be here at home. Obviously, it being a rivalry, that's going to be circled a little bit more than some other games. Now with it being every 3 years, where it's going to be that coming inspection, how important is that game for the players, and how much is it important for the coaches as well to be able to?
Well, it's always an important game for us here. It didn't take me long when I got here a long time ago to learn that it is an extremely important game to Aggie fans, to the coaches, to the players. I think it is for BYU too. I mean, it's a good in-state rivalry, and we've lost a little of that, and that's a little more rare these days. So I think it's great. I'm glad that they want to continue the rivalry, but it's always a highlight when we play them here. Some of our guys see the spectrum on fire for the first time, really, and but that is so far in the future, and we have so much to do before then that we really haven't given it a lot of thought yet, to be honest.